You've been calling yourself broken, stuck, or off track, but I want to tell you something powerful. You are still the chosen one. The last thing you did, maybe it wasn't perfect. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe you said something you shouldn't have, stayed too long in a place that drained you, or walked away from something that mattered. And now you're thinking, did I mess up God's plan for me? But let me ask you something. Do you really think God's plan for your life is so weak that one decision could undo it? You don't have that kind of power, but you do have the power to change your path. And that's exactly what you've done. The last thing you did didn't cancel your calling. It activated a different chapter. Maybe the pain woke you up. Maybe the delay taught you patience. Maybe the ending gave you the fire to finally begin. God didn't change his mind about you, but maybe, just maybe, you finally changed yours. You chose something different. You chose you, and now the plan shifts with you, not against you. This isn't about perfection, it's about movement. You're not stuck. You're just in between the old version of you and the one you're becoming. The one that's stronger, wiser, and still chosen. Chosen doesn't mean flawless. It means called, capable, and carried even when you don't see the next step. So no, the last thing you did didn't destroy God's plan. It deepened it, and if you're still breathing, you're still in it. You're still chosen. You've been walking around carrying this heavy question in your heart. Did I mess everything up? You've been haunted by the last decision you made, the text you sent, the job you didn't take, the relationship you held on to for too long or let go too soon. And now you're thinking, what if that was the moment everything changed? What if I broke what God was building for me? But here's the truth you're not hearing enough. The last thing you did didn't disqualify you. It didn't cancel the plan. It changed it. And that change might have hurt. It might have confused you, but it didn't take you out of your purpose. In fact, it pulled you deeper into it. We have this idea that divine plans are these delicate little blueprints. Like if we step wrong once, we've burned the whole thing to the ground. But God isn't petty. His plans aren't brittle. They're adaptive. They grow. They bend. They move with you. And when you move, especially when you move with the intention to grow, to be better, to find peace, to choose love over fear, that shift gets honored, not punished. So maybe the last thing you did wasn't what you expected from yourself. Maybe it was impulsive. Maybe it was you protecting your heart. Or maybe it was you finally listening to your gut after ignoring it for too long. But what if I told you it was exactly what needed to happen to open the next door? What if that moment wasn't a mistake but a mirror, showing you who you are, what you need, what you're no longer willing to accept? Sometimes we think we've delayed our blessings, but what if that so-called delay is actually preparation? You didn't ruin anything. You revealed something. You're not off course. You're in transition. And transitions feel messy because they are. You're shedding old versions of yourself, patterns, people, beliefs that don't fit anymore. And that's never neat, but it's necessary. You have to understand, being chosen doesn't mean you're always confident or always calm. It doesn't mean you always make the right move. Being chosen means that even when you fall, even when you lose your way, even when you doubt everything, you're still called back to the path. That's what purpose does. It pulls you, it reroutes you, it doesn't abandon you. That decision you're replaying in your head over and over, that was part of your training. That was part of the plan, even if it wasn't the plan you expected. And maybe it taught you something that nothing else could. Maybe it forced you to face something you'd been avoiding. Your worth, your strength, your truth. That moment wasn't your ending. It was a crack in the shell. And now that light is starting to pour through. You're not late. You're not broken. You're not disqualified. You're in motion. You're becoming. You're adjusting, and yes, you're still chosen. You've been thinking that God is disappointed in you. But what if he's proud, not because you played it safe, but because you finally acted, because you dared to move, because you stopped pretending and started being real with yourself? That kind of honesty is rare. And that kind of bravery doesn't cancel your calling. It confirms it. So let the last thing you did be a beginning, not a burden. Let it be the evidence that you're listening, learning, and willing to shift. You're not waiting to be chosen. You already are. You didn't ruin God's plan. You revealed your readiness for something greater. The shift wasn't a setback. It was a signal. You're not behind. You're being a leader.